Hi everyone. So in this video today I wanted to talk to you all about my Shoonya experience. So I did the Shoonya almost a year ago and I waited so long actually to make this video because, to be very honest, Shoonya is a process that you have to live. It is not something that gives you like an instant result. It is something that you basically build in a certain way, and then you start to see changes in yourself, and you start to actually understand how the process is spiritually elevating you. I of course did it with Isha, in the Isha Yoga Center, and it was a beautiful experience for me. The program itself, I think when I went into and when I stepped into, say, the Shoonya hall, or when I stepped into Isha Yoga Center, I was filled with different kinds of emotions. It was the first time I was actually going there alone. Before this, I was accompanied by my friends or someone else. I'd always been there with someone I know. This was the first time I was entering the Isha Yoga Center all by myself. I'd booked a cottage, and I remember the amount of anxiety that I had during the program. For some reason, I don't know, maybe this is like a personal thing that I faced. Maybe not all of you face the same thing. But yeah, so the program started. First, I think we were taught the Surya Shakti, followed by the Shakti Chalana Kriya, and then we had our initiation. Of course, I cannot talk to you about the details of the program as to what happened. But I can tell you my takeaways from the program. What are the things that I experienced? What are the things that I felt? And how has the practice elevated me as a person in my day-to-day life? And what are the experiences that I've had with Shoonya? So to begin with, once we start the Shakti Chalana Kriya, one of the things that I feel whenever I am sitting for that Hatha Yoga, or that practice, is that in those few moments that I am doing the practice, it's not a very short practice, it takes you about 45 minutes to complete it, but it's got a beautiful nature to itself. When you do the kriya, you realize that there are some energy shifts that are happening. You realize that in a way, and this is something that you'll notice, I think, once you complete your 40-day mandala also, that there are some changes in you that have taken place, and it's kind of like shaped you in a certain way. I think that is one thing that I feel is done for me in that way. So a lot of things that probably would be bothering you at some point of time, it kind of corrects itself. So for me, like, I don't know, I've mentioned this in my videos before or not, but I have kind of an I'm like overly emotional, and especially if someone talks to me in a loud voice, or someone possibly just talks to me rudely or badly, I just take it to heart, and it becomes something which is I start to cry, and that is how I probably emote my anger. I think one of the first things that I noticed after finishing the Shoonya program was that I became very, very emotionally strong. I don't know whether it is the kriya that does it, or whether it is Shoonya that does it, whether it is the meditation practice, or whether it is the kriya itself. But in a way, this kind of a change is something that I was seeing in myself, and this is something that was starkly visible, because a lot of situations didn't matter to me as much as it would have otherwise. So to be honest, like, I think that is one of the biggest things that happened to me. And honestly, what I feel is that there are a lot of people who say, intellectually maybe a little haywire, or someone, with their relationships, like me, who's emotionally somewhere else. So it just does a course correction for you in a certain way, this practice, and then in a few days you are able to basically see it for yourself. My Shoonya meditation experience is phenomenal. Honestly, if I had to choose at least one practice, any one practice from Isha that I really love, it is the Shoonya practice. Because honestly, I feel like the Shoonya practice gives me so much depth and so much clarity. I feel like once I do my Shoonya, there is nothing that in the world can really displace me in that way. So for that, I really love the Shoonya practice, and I look forward to the Shoonya practice twice a day. One more thing that I have to say about the Shoonya is that of course, like for me, I was having major bronchitis since I was born, right? And I was basically someone that used to have a lot of wheezing problems. I think 70 to 80% of my wheezing problems are completely gone. I used to take an inhaler about thrice a day, which has now come down to like once, or maybe not even that. So I feel like in that way, I feel like my system is changing as I'm doing this Kriya. About the Shoonya meditation, like I said, it's a beautiful meditation. I feel like this is where the actual meditation takes place. And so when you go into that hall, when you go into that Shoonya hall for your initiation, that is also a spectacular experience. However, I wouldn't recommend every person to do the Shoonya. I feel like it's got a major time commitment. So other than your Shambhavi and the Hatha Yoga practices that you're doing, the Shakti Chalana Kriya takes about 45 minutes, and then 15 minutes twice a day you have to dedicate time for your Shoonya meditation. There will be people around you that will kind of tell you that, do you spend more time with your eyes closed than your eyes open? Because that is what happened with me when I was doing my mandala. So during my mandala, I was doing Shakti Chalana Kriya twice a day, Shambhavi once a day, Shoonya twice a day, and then the Hatha Yoga practices. So, it's quite a time commitment that is required on your end to even continue the program. One more thing that I would like to tell you is that don't stop your Shoonya. Don't stop this practice. What happens is that a lot of times we feel like we want to take a break. I feel that it is very important for you to understand that in Shoonya you should not take a very long break because of certain reasons. Of course, one is that the Shoonya is something like planting a tree, right? So if you water the tree every day, it grows, but if you stop watering it for some time, it will die. So don't let your Shoonya die at any point of time. Only do the Shoonya at that point of time in your life when you feel like, okay, I'm ready to give this time commitment. And I feel like one of the things that I've realized, and this is something that not only goes with your spiritual practice, but it is something that for you to take away for your life, is that once you have an intention, action follows. So the minute that you have an intention that I want to grow spiritually, you will find the time to do your Shoonya, you will find the time to do your Shakti Chalana Kriya, you will finish your mandala. But till the time that that intention kind of sets into your brain, you kind of will always feel like, oh my god, I have to wake up in the morning and do my Shakti Chalana Kriya. For people who know what it is, for people who really have seen the benefits of it, they will feel very glad waking up in the morning and doing the Shakti Chalana Kriya. Having said that, it's not like there are days where I don't feel like doing the practice, but that is the thing with any spiritual practice that you do, whether through Sadhguru or not through Sadhguru, you have to have at it, you have to keep at it, right? You cannot just say that, oh, today I'm not in a mood, so I won't do it. It has to be something that you have to do even when you're not in a mood, just to put that tick mark that, okay, this is done for today. Tomorrow, let's see, what happens. And then again, tomorrow you go and you just again put a tick mark. No matter how you do the practice, just do the practice. Sit there, do the practice. Another benefit that I wanted to talk to you guys about was that I feel like my mental ability kind of strengthened a lot. That is because I feel like I can recall things better. I feel like, there are some times where you're like, oh, what was the name of that person, and you're not being able to recall the name of a person. That happens very gradually. You feel like, there are lots of times where you're reading something, you're not understanding it. I feel like the clarity and perception that you have about things really, really increases, and I think that is something that I completely owe to the Shoonya practice. Another thing, that one of the biggest things that honestly I felt after doing this was that when Sadhguru talks about a distance, that you have a distance from your body and you have a distance from your mind, you really don't know what he's talking about because you've never ever experienced it. With the Shoonya practice, I think one thing that happened was that there are a lot of times where I have more control over what I am thinking, how I am thinking, what is the thought process, whether I want to overthink this or not. It's a conscious choice of what you think and what you want to think about and what you don't want to think about. It's not a mental diarrhea, like, thoughts are just coming. It's like you get to pick and choose your thoughts, and I think that is the biggest takeaways, because that makes life very easy. You don't dwell a lot, and you don't waste your energy a lot into overthinking and thoughts that probably will not make any sense otherwise. And one more thing that happens is that it's very easy for you to just like break. You just break. Okay, why am I overthinking this? Why is my mental thought pattern like this? And you start to refer to your mind as a separate being and you as a separate being. For any other person, what happens is that a lot of times people say that, I am thinking this, but for you, after doing Shoonya, at least for me after doing Shoonya, it was about, mind, why are you thinking this? There's a very subtle difference, but there's a very big difference between that. And the moment you get onto that, the moment you understand the nuances of this, you see, life will slowly start changing for you. Yeah, I think that's about it. If there are any other experiences that I've not mentioned, because this has just been something that I wanted to flip out my camera and just do it today. I've not really scripted anything. If I do have any other experiences, I will leave it in the comment section down below. But if you want to reach out to me at any point of time, please do. My email address is there. You can connect with me on Instagram, or you can drop a comment in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.